Yo, guys, it's the kid, 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 man. We are here, we are here, we are here, we are here, man. Look, man, let me just go straight in right now and just say that I have to commend you because way before these things were happening, way before you said Miami Heat, and we all laughed, and everybody in the live chat said, Miami Heat, this isn't freaking 2011 or 2012. I was like, what the hell are you on? So far, well, they have made the final dropping only one game. So what do you think? Because again, for me, I think like what Jimmy Butler is doing is amazing. And I think if you're Philadelphia, you're like, damn, wow. I think we're probably in the wrong. So what is it? The coaching? Is it just a good team? Is this really Jimmy Butler? What is it that has made them literally drop only one game in 2 games and totally embarrass the Bucks?
It's the thing is, it's like a combination of a lot of things. It's Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the NBA by far. He's ridiculously good. Jimmy Butler's awesome, but I think the best player on the Heat is Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo is able to be a center who can pass. He's one of the best passers in the NBA. He can move his feet. He can block shots. And he's able to hit the little jump hooks, the little short mid-rangers. And the thing is, Bam Adebayo is what makes everything go. Without Bam, they lose versatility. They lose everything. Bam is the source. And they have young players like Tyler Hero. Goran Dragic is playing like how he did 6 years ago. It's just a good team. It's a team game. And I saw the Miami Heat because they're also a team built for the playoffs because they have lots of wing defenders. They have Jay Crowder, Andre Iguodala, Jimmy Butler, Bam, guys that are between the heights of 6'6" and 6'9". They're probably the most valuable commodity in the NBA. And they have a lot of them that can play defense. And that is how you anchor a defense. And that's how you move in the playoffs with that, because the playoffs is about how you're able to make adjustments game to game, possession to possession. It's about can your style change? And that's what I saw with the Miami Heat. They can play 3-point shooting. They can put out all defense lineup. They can do it all. And the Bucks, I saw that they didn't have that. They didn't have any.
No. We're gonna get to the Bucks. We're gonna get to the Bucks. But see, my thing about it is that when people were talking about Butler back in the Chicago Bulls, I was like, okay, yeah. But I always saw him as like a good secondary player, like a Pippen kind of guy. And even when he was on Philadelphia, it was Embiid and Butler. But I mean, been impressed with the way that he's come into this team and made this his team, and he's now sort of gone up in my estimation as, oh no, this is a main guy. He isn't like a supporting cast or a supplementary player. He can actually be like, you know what? Okay, fourth quarter, give me the ball. I'm going to make the right decisions and so forth. So how much has Miami Heat's run to the final sort of increased Jimmy Butler's kind of standing and his image?
A good amount. Mainly more on the credibility side, because Jimmy Butler left about 2 teams previously where he expressed his issue with the team's level of commitment to winning and the young players' commitment to winning. And people like Kevin Garnett were saying, what has Jimmy Butler ever won for him to be talking about who's a winner, who's not a winner? When he got to the Heat, he said, Tyler Hero, I like that type. I like his type of young player. He works hard. And he's getting the results because he like he said, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, these guys are not willing to work. Ben Simmons is not adapting. He's not willing to shoot. And he found a team that is molded in his likeness, and it's resulting in winning. So it has to be like a compliment to him, because this team is what I've been saying I need. These are the guys I say I need, and we're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
The Bucks, you see, I think it was even Daniel that was even saying about how, and I think he even mentioned it, that regular season you just play. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you just win the games you need to, just make sure that you make the playoffs and everything. But it's just about playing, looking at different setups and so forth. But it isn't really as intense as the playoffs. And the playoffs is where you get really tactical, and there's a lot of thought that is put into it. But still, how is it a team can be so amazing in the regular season and so horrible in the playoffs? I don't think I've ever seen, maybe somebody can in life can remind me, or even you, I've ever seen a team be like not just good, amazing in the regular season where they had the best regular season record, and these guys, they got trashed. So what, did they lose 4-0 to Raptors last year or 4-1?
They lost 4-2. They won the first 2 games and they lost 4 straight.
Oh, so who do you put the blame on? Because we can just say, oh, because Giannis went down. It was because they still lost 2 games when Giannis was playing the whole game. So
Yeah.
what is the issue? Like, how do you get so badly beaten, but you had the best record coming into this playoffs?
The thing is, this thing is like a repeat of we've seen it before, because when Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks had the best record in the NBA, they lost in the first round to the We Believe Golden State Warriors. And Dirk had to collect his MVP, and he was already out of the playoffs by the time he collected his MVP. And the same thing's going to happen to Giannis. Giannis is going to collect his MVP in Milwaukee, or if he leaves the country or whoever he goes, he's going to collect it there. And I think what it is about is if the Bucks have the terrible combination, and I think it's like the Mavericks with Avery Johnson, where you have a coach who is not believing in adjusting, and then you have a best player and a team built around one style of play. With Dirk back in the day, Dirk was 7 feet tall, but he did not like to be guarded by guys who were between the heights of like 6'7" to 6'9". He hated to be guarded by guys who were long enough and still strong, but not as tall as him. So guys like Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes would give him a lot of problems. And Dirk had no way to adjust then. So when that wasn't working, the Mavericks were screwed. And the same thing with Giannis now is the Bucks have built a team around Giannis being the guy who has to dominate the interior to create shots for everyone else, because a lot of those guys are not that good of players. They're made better by Giannis's presence. And when you run into a team just like Dirk did, you run into a team who is stylistically made to beat you, because the We Believe Warriors had like 5 dudes to guard Dirk. Al Harrington, Azubuike, Matt Barnes, all these guys to guard Dirk. The same thing with this Heat team, where you have Jay Crowder, you put him on, you could put Bam on him, you could put Jimmy on him, you could put Andre Iguodala. You have like a collection of guys. And the Bucks, just like the Mavericks, there's only one style they play. The team is built around Giannis being the distributor, the weak side defender, and that's it. No one else in the team aside from Middleton can get their own shot, and Middleton can only get shots for himself. And all the Heat had to do is say, we have guys strong enough so Giannis won't kill us, and then we'll let Middleton do what he wants to do, because he's not going to make anybody better but himself, and then it's over.
You know, for me, like, look, me being a Nigerian and so forth, I obviously want Giannis to do well and I want him to succeed. But I've got to be real with you, like it looks really bad the way he gets exposed. You know, and I just think the teams make him look really bad because he's now getting into mistakes, and you just see how limited his game is. And I think that is why the playoffs and regular season is so different. I mean, we'll probably touch on the Rockets as well, which is why I always say, don't talk to me about James Harden.
No.
Because regular season and playoffs are 2 totally different things. Same thing in football as well. Like then the knockouts is different from group stage matches.
Facts.
I just think that when people are in the playoffs, it's like, okay, it's now real now. Mm-hmm. So we're now taking this seriously, because now you have 82 games.
Mm-hmm.
You can forego 2 or 3 losses. What's it called? Load management. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can manage things, but when it's like, no, every game now counts.
Yeah.
And every win, because this is now a race to 4, it's a lot more intense. And I just think that because I was watching First Take, and I think it was I know, but something interesting Kevin Perkins said about that is that if you're going to put any blame on anybody, I think it's the coach. It's Budenholzer.
He's horrendous. I have grown up a fan of the Atlanta Hawks, unfortunately. That's what was given to me, and I'm sad that I chose it. Now I'm kind of like a basketball agnostic. I don't really root for anybody because I can't deal with the pain anymore. I don't like dealing with heartache anymore from sports, so I leave it alone. But my coach Budenholzer was a coach of the Atlanta Hawks, and there was a year where the Atlanta Hawks had like 4 All-Stars, and we had the best record in the entire league. You know what LeBron did to us? He swept us. Didn't even respect us, swept us, and just kept it pushing. That's Budenholzer. Budenholzer builds systems and philosophies for the regular season. Before I continue with Budenholzer, I want to say something about the Nigerian thing. Giannis is Nigerian, but the Heat have a Nigerian too. Bam Adebayo is Nigerian.
Adebayo.
His name is Idris Adebayo. That's his real name. So Bam is Nigerian. You have a Nigerian on the other side. Root for him. He's better. Anyway, with Mike Budenholzer, he builds systems for the regular season. The same thing with D'Antoni. It's kind of like this way that I kind of hate where basketball is going, where oftentimes teams are still invested in net rating and really analytics intensive, where they kind of take the soul out of basketball, where basketball now turns into like a math competition, and the Bucks do things to just maximize the math, which is we shoot threes and we don't allow people to get inside the paint. And this works, 3-point shooting especially works over a large variance. Things will regress back to the mean, and they'll come back to, I shot 70% tonight, I shoot 30%, but eventually I'll just come together at 40 by the end of the season. In short playoff series with Budenholzer, in short series, you cannot rely on things like that. A mid-ranger is fine here because you just need 4 excellent games. And large sample tactics is what Budenholzer uses for small sample instances like a 7-game series.
Oh, no, because I think what I like about the Miami Heat is, and I think this is what I always say, is that, look, okay, if you're a Golden State Warriors, you can always rely on the 3 because you have 2 of the greatest shooters in history. Or what I like about teams are teams that can, as you say, they can vary it. Okay, we're now going to walk here on the inside. We're going to go on the outside. We're going to spread the play now. We're now going to go ISO. So the Miami Heat is like, if they can hit you with so many different styles and they're very fluid. So wherever the game is, they're going to be like, okay, let's spread it out. Let's go and shoot. Okay, let's just be, because which is my issue with the Houston Rockets is I hate teams that are so reliant on the 3.
It's
3. I'm like, okay, good. I get it. 3 points is only 1 more point than a 2. And I just think what is good about it is build attrition and build more momentum and vary it inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, and just build the momentum. But if it was like 3, that's putting too much pressure on your shooters who aren't Steph Curry or Klay Thompson.
Yeah, man. And I agree with that, especially like people and even the Warriors. The Warriors never shot threes like the Rockets. Steph Curry would take mid-rangers. He would get layups, right? Even the Warriors understood that relying so heavily on the math will bail us out is not good in a short sample. And also, it's just not good in terms of Kobe Bryant said this a couple of months before he died when he was doing an interview with Tracy McGrady. And they asked him if James Harden, this is the last season, if James Harden would be able to do this. Because at one point, James Harden was going to average like 40 points a game. And Kobe said, as you get into the postseason, right, it's hard to defeat teams where you have 1 point of attack, where you have one person dribbling it out. There's no movement. It's so easy for the better you go in the playoffs, the better the teams are. It's easy for them to key in on James is at the top. People are going to stand around the perimeter, and we have to defend the same way every single game. The Miami Heat have lots of back cuts, lots of movement around the perimeter. And that makes it hard for teams on a game-to-game basis. If you look at the Warriors got so many easy layups to the basket because they were not crazy about the 3. And lastly, it's like there's something people talk about on NBA Twitter about a 3-level scorer. And when they talk about like 3-level scorers, they talk about like how Kawhi is able to shoot threes, have a mid-range game, and still score on the interior. James Harden, you look at James Harden's shot chart, it's lots of dots around the 3-point line and lots of dots in the middle, and he shoots free throws. You have to sometimes, if the defense is going to give you the mid-range and he doesn't take it, and that's the issue. It's he's got some guys who are trained to follow the math. The math says you only need to shoot layups and 3-pointers, and your true shooting percentage will be higher. All layups and 3-pointers, but you have to sometimes take what the defense gives you, and that's why those guys. Those guys waste time.
No, but no, that's why. Like Kawhi is probably my favorite player right now.
The best player in the world.
Because for me, he's varied. It's like, okay, I'll go for the 3, I'll go for the layup, I'll go and get a foul, I'll go for a mid-range. And he also knows which one to take. Because Harden is predictable. You know what's going to do? Dribble, through the legs, shoot. Shoot. Okay, maybe a little. It's like, okay, we know what you're going to do. So if a defense is smart enough, we will just hustle you, struggle. So now you don't have to be an intelligent passer if we now double upon it. But Kawhi, he has an answer for anything you do with him. And also, nothing, he's a good passer as well. With that pass that he made, so I forgot, he made like a really good pass between the two guys in the last game. So, and I see, he may not be flamboyant or have the kind of guile that, let's say, a Steph Curry has and so forth. But like, you see, this is what I always say. Kyrie Irving for me is probably the best basketball player to look at in terms of how he plays. Gorgeous. He looks smooth.
Gorgeous basketball game.
Oh, no, like he was like this. Just basically, it's like Allen Iverson. He just looks great to look at. But in terms of efficiency, Kawhi is this is a guy who's like, I want to do the right thing. Not what looks good, is what is the right decision for this point in time. So look, I want to talk about Kyle Lowry.
Man, I used to hate Kyle Lowry.
Look, you see, I have a narrative. And this is my narrative is this. My narrative is Kawhi. And my thing is Kawhi is so good that the Raptors, they don't stand a chance with him not being in there. So I thought the Celtics would take these guys out a lot earlier. But I want to be real with you. Because you see, these games have been hard to follow because I've had to work this week, so it's been hard to stabilize and everything. But for sure, Game 7, I mean, because I don't think I'm working on the weekend. So this Game 7 is going to be great. Celtics should win.
Yeah.
But these Raptors, because see, by logic, they should win because look, it took them 2 overtimes to pretty much beat them, and Celtics have pretty much, they've always been on the front foot, and Raptors are just trying to be counter-punching them. So by logic, Celtics should be like, all right, Game 7, let's everyone play at a maximum. We should beat these guys. But something tells them that. Do you think there is? Okay, no. Let's first deal with Kyle Lowry. This is my thing about Kyle Lowry. I will never ever see him as a superstar player. Never.
Oh, he's not.
So what he did in that Game 6, congrats. You deserve your kudos. And it's like I admire the fights from Raptors and Lowry in the fact that you refuse to give up. But I just don't see a scenario. See, if Raptors by some miracle beat the Celtics, the Heat are smoking them. They will see, because for me, just for in terms of enjoyment, we need Celtics Heat.
Yeah, that's a heavyweight fight. Oh man, that's a heavyweight fight.
See, if Raptors go in there, they'll get this. I mean, I'm talking 4-1 of 4-1. I think they'll get 4-1 in our final. So how are you seeing this Game 7?
The Game 7 is a tricky because oftentimes it comes down to more than just talent, but experience. Because I remember Game 7, 2018, where it was Cavaliers versus Celtics. The Celtics had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Marcus Smart. LeBron played that game without Kevin Love. It was him, Jeff Green, and J.R. Smith. And LeBron James controlled the pace. He controlled the game from start to finish, and they ended up winning. And I think when it comes to Game 7s, it's about more experience than who's the best team. I honestly believe that because, like, Game 7s, they're almost always low scoring because the amount of pressure, every possession is crazy critical because, every possession is one possession less for me to go home, And I think the Celtics should win. But if the Raptors win, I'm not surprised because the Raptors playoff journey last year was hell, man. They went through hell. They always made it through.
You make a great point, and I think the point is experience.
Experience, man.
Celtics are the better team.
They're young. Kemba Walker has been a star, one of the best players in the NBA for a while. But Michael Jordan wasted his prime, and he wasted his prime staying in Charlotte with Michael. And now he's in the end of his prime, and he's never had experience going this far in the playoffs. So even though Kemba's a star and a stud of a player, he's never been this far. How many game sevens in the second round has Kemba Walker been in? I don't think he's been in any. So.
Yeah, no. I think experience is key because, as I said again, Raptors know what it means like to be in a game 7 as they were against Philadelphia 76ers. And I think even if the fact that they don't have Kawhi, the players have that experience of, okay, this is now everything counts now. I said every position counts now. And if, let's say, we're in the fourth quarter and it's like 2 points or 3 points, does this young Celtics team have that kind of character to be like, don't mess this up, don't have a turnover? If you have a shot, you've got to make this shot now because now every shot counts now. So, because what I want to like is because again that will show me the character of this Celtics team, and I just feel that the pressure may be too much for these guys. So if you're the Raptors, you see, put it this way: if you're the Raptors, you want to keep it close all the way. So you want to go into the fourth quarter.
They'll get nervous.
See, if you're the Celtics, you want to have a massive lead going into the fourth quarter. So basically, if you're the Celtics, don't pace yourself. Start out aggressive and try to really put these guys away as possible. Raptors, just keep yourself within distance. So if you're going into the fourth quarter and it's close, bro, I might give it to the Raptors, man.
If you look at the series, all the close games, the Raptors have won. All the blowouts have been the Celtics blowing out the Raptors. So which I think it is, it's going to be a low-scoring, close game. The Raptors might pull it out, man. They might, unless Jason Tatum shows that he is a true almost on the cusp of being like a superstar. If he's able to show his maturity from 2 years ago when LeBron just destroyed all of them, then they can win. I think this is on Tatum because he has been here before. Tatum was in a game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was. As a rookie, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be on Tatum and Brown. Kemba's never been here before. I don't expect anything from him. But the thing is, when you look at the Raptors, they have everybody who's been there before.
Okay, so let's look at the Clippers and Nuggets. What's your assessment on Jokic?
Jokic is a gifted player, very flawed. And his flaws are too important in the playoffs. Jokic is someone who has these mental lapses where if he misses a shot and he thinks he's fouled, he'll just foul the player. He doesn't think sometimes. He's not that good of a shooter. He's a great passer. He's a great post player, but his defense is just horrendous. His interior defense is fine. Jokic is big. He has long arms. It's Jokic in the pick and roll is a problem. It's a super problem, And what they would need for that to offset that would be people on his starting lineup who can defend. They have Gary Harris and they have Paul Millsap, but the two other key players on the Nuggets can't defend either. Jamal Murray is a bad defender, and Michael Porter is a horrendous defender. So Jokic is gifted, probably the best big man passer I've ever seen in my life. One of the best, just most creative players, one of the most unique players I've ever seen. But his defense is too much of a problem. Too much.
No, I mean, so basically you don't give them any chance against the Clippers. You think this is over?
Bro, I said the Mavericks are better than the Jazz and the Nuggets. The Clippers are going to walk all over these dudes because they already played a better team in the last round. The Nuggets are not that good. They're missing guys like Will Barton who actually can create for himself and can play better defense than Michael Porter Jr. The Nuggets are not good, man. They're not good. They're good in the sense of they can put up lots of points and they're a talented team, but they can't sit and look at Kawhi Leonard in any real way. Luka Doncic is a more put together star who has less glaring holes in his game. You know, Jokic has glaring holes, and even Murray, he's just too small to be of like a serious impact. You need to be 6'7". One of my favorite basketball writers, Ethan Strauss, says, in the NBA, wings are king. Wings are king. If you're a wing, if you're 6'6" to 6'9", you're the most valuable person in basketball. And Luka Doncic is 6'7" and a wing. But Jokic is 7 feet tall, and the second best player is like 6'3". It's not good enough. And they both don't defend. Not good enough.
So let's look at the Rockets and the Lakers. So look, okay. Let's start first with Westbrook. So he had
Injury.
he had an awful game. The one previous, this one, and my thing about it is that I think the whole thing with the Rockets is who can we partner Harden with, you know, and obviously you've got your boy Tucker, and you've also got Gordon. Really good shooters as well. But for me, I just think that the Rockets, I think, are hindered by D'Antoni's coaching. I just don't think that he's giving them a lot more of a varied attack. It's a very predictable kind of attack and a predictable approach that they have. And I think against a team that has flipping LeBron James, you don't stand too well. So if you were, let's say, the Rockets coach, how would you employ the team to beat the Lakers? Is it in terms of you've got to use Tucker and Gordon more, Harden, bro, you've got to vary things, Westbrook, don't take too many shots, walk more on the inside rather than on the inside. So basically drive into the baskets a lot more. If you're on the outside, try and find a good pass and try and create a safe situation to give the ball into space to a Tucker and Gordon, to better shooters. So what kind of approach do you think for them to have to beat the Lakers?
They can't, because they just don't have any variance. The trade, when they got Westbrook, they were struggling because Westbrook and Clint Capella couldn't shoot, so they couldn't be on the court at the same time with James Harden. He was making everything hard for everyone else. They get rid of Clint Capella, so essentially on offense, Russell Westbrook is playing the center, right? And with that in place, Russell Westbrook is not big enough to give you like a good screen and roll to the basket. So now their offense is seriously one-dimensional, where they don't run the pick and roll. They cannot run the pick and roll anymore. And Harden was always good for a pick and roll with Clint Capella, a floater, and if it's not a floater, it's a lob. That's all out of the question. Now their offense is strictly Harden has to break teams down and create corner threes for Tucker, Robert Covington, Eric Gordon, whatever, or Westbrook does the same thing. He gets into the interior and either scores or creates 3-point shooting. It's just too easy for the Lakers. It's not that hard to guard. When you go all in with the idea that we're going to just shoot as many threes as possible and nothing else matters, it's nice. It's nice, but it's not a winning formula. So the they don't stand a chance. They may scare LeBron a little bit. They might have a game where they shoot a bunch of threes and they make a bunch of threes, but it's not good enough. And somebody said in the comments, Jeff Green. Jeff Green is like 6'9", and Jeff Green is like a small forward, power forward. We're talking about a center like Clint Capella who can screen and roll. And Jeff Green is also old, you know?
Okay, so guys, maybe for last 10, 15, 20 minutes, we'll probably just take some questions and everything. So as we build up to that game 7. So are you still sticking with the Miami Heat?
Oh, to win it all? No. I don't think the Miami. I think the Miami Heat, they probably might make it to the finals, but when I look at when it gets to the later you go, the best player on the floor usually is gonna win, and I think the Lakers might win it all, man.
Wow. Okay, so you think the Lakers will beat the Clippers in the finals?
Yeah, because I like the Clippers. I like Kawhi, but I don't really like the Clippers. Like they rely on Lou Williams, who is one of the worst defenders my eyes can see. He's horrendous on defense. Montrezl Harrell can't defend. He tries, but he's not that good of a defender. And in general, they just have so many flaws. And I feel like LeBron has one person he can always depend on, and I don't think Kawhi has that. Paul
Okay.
George is not good enough right now.
Even if Paul George has definitely been getting better, something about me just doesn't trust him.
He's playing bad.
You know? Yeah. It just doesn't trust him, man. Wait, who does he mean? MPJ. Who is this?
Michael Porter Jr.,
Oh, okay.
the wing from the Nuggets, who he said it and he was right, but he's a rookie, so he should be able to talk. He said that down the stretch, the coaches just kept on running plays through Jokic and Murray, and it was becoming predictable because no one else was touching the ball. And he was like, you need to give me the ball as well. I'm a talented player. I'm playing lots of minutes. Let me help. And he's correct.
So you don't think he should have said it, or he should have said it in private?
Yes, he went to the media and said that before he told his teammates. That was horrendous.
Yeah. I think something can be right, but you may not say it in the right avenue.
Yep.
I think especially when you're just dealing with the pressure of the players, specifically in the bubble where people are a bit more sensitive and more honed in, it is very important that for the psychological makeup of the team, any issues or grievances you have, you go to the coach and say, hey, look, this, or just have like a team meeting.
Yeah.
Have a team meeting and just say, hey guys, look, man, these are my issues. You air it out, have arguments, and then boom, you now move on. See, because even now put it in there, especially with the media, and because remember, guys read Twitter.
Yeah.
So you still have Twitter, so once you put it into the media, guys will look on social media, and then that could just sort of, because trust me, every little thing can affect you as a player. What you read, what people are saying on Instagram. So I think for me, that was not great, man. Which is a bigger series, Lakers Clippers or Lakers Celtics or Clippers Heat? For me, it has to be. See, this is the thing where I just think it's unfortunate. I wish the Lakers and Clippers were on different coasts.
Yeah, so that could be the finals.
Yeah. So, but for me, hopefully, Lakers and Clippers take care of business, because that is going to be amazing. I think Kawhi against LeBron, and see what they do. I think
King Kong Godzilla, man.
For me, that is my dream game, because I feel whoever comes out of the West,
they won the championship.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is.
So that's the real NBA championship. Whoever wins that series is getting a ring. That's it.
I see the issue with Lakers Celtics is Celtics are too young.
They wouldn't stand a chance, man.
So like, obviously it's cool because of the history and they're the two most storied franchises, but the Celtics just are not really ready to go up against literally grown men.
No.
Clippers Heat would be interesting.
But the Clippers would stomp them to the ground. They'd stomp them out.
No, they wouldn't stomp them. No.
I do not think the Heat have enough scoring to match the Clippers.
No, they would beat them, but Clippers just for me have.
Hold on, actually, the Heat might win that.
Think about it. Think about some of the issues that the Clippers have had, and also think about how efficient the Miami Heat are. Miami Heat are the kind of team where they could somehow put the Clippers in trouble. So I'm not sold on the Clippers. Just see, Lakers beat them.
I think though the Heat are good for either the Clippers or the Heat for a good battle, because the Heat's main issue is having a defender at the point of attack, like someone who can defend other people's point guards, like Goran Dragic, Kendrick Nunn. These guys are not good enough to defend people who are attacking from that part of the perimeter. But if it's a team that depends on a wing, like the Clippers and the Lakers, they depend on LeBron and Kawhi. The Heat have people to guard them. We'll try to guard them.
The main player who in the Heat right now was Udonis Haslem. Was he in 2012?
Yeah, Udonis Haslem has been on the Heat for 17 years, something like that.
What? 17 years?
15, 17, yeah.
Wow. So Udonis Haslem, who else?
He probably been on the Heat for like 15 years.
So who else apart from Haslem?
A player? It's Udonis Haslem.
Oh, that's it. So he's the only player from 2012.
Only player for sure.
Okay, yeah, no, because it's I was honestly because I remember when I was watching the game, just him sitting on the bench. I was like, oh yeah, man, like yeah, that's a very that's like a face I remember.
Yeah, it's Harden.
Who do you guys think will be a good partner for Harden to take the Rockets forward? Oh, that's a good one. You see, for me, you need someone in the mold of like an Anthony Davis, an inside guy, because see, CP3 sort of did the similar thing. A playmaker, okay, maybe not as good a shooter, but still a outer rim playmaker guy who likes the ball. Westbrook, basically, both CP3 and Westbrook, they like the ball. Harden likes the ball as well. What you need is either a Jokic or a Davis, a guy who I'm an inside guy. So what I'm a secondary option, similar to Kobe and Shaq, where okay, Harden, you do the outside stuff. If you get double team or something, walk with me. Let me create something on the inside as well. So there is a genuine, consistent inside option. Right now, they don't have an inside option. They just have great shooters and what's it called, points guards, playmakers. So
for me, I think it's two people because I saw them try to get somebody who could help with him and the ball handling. But Harden, even though it was good for him, Harden doesn't want that type of help because he got rid of CP3. And if the Rockets had CP3 right now, they'd be the title favorite. But the person that he would actually accept and would help the team is two unicorns. It's either Porzingis or Karl Anthony Towns. Guys who are big, block shots. Well, Porzingis block shots. Karl Anthony can try. Big, protect the rim, can score on 2 or 3 levels, and they shoot the three deadly. So they don't hurt the spacing, but they can still attack the rim. Porzingis and Karl Anthony Towns are two of like the best big men shooters ever. So they don't hurt the 3-point line. You still have it all spread out. And you can run pick and roll, and you have some size. You know, I think the unicorns are probably the best people for Harden.
Best NBA finals ever. So this Cavs Warriors won it in 26. For me, in terms of just the drama and just the emotions, it has to be the one, basically the Ray Allen clutch shot one.
Oh wow! Mm-hmm.
Because okay, fair enough. The game 7 was sort of thing, but I just think that just in terms of, because it really felt like if these were two rivals and these were two teams and they were very, very close, and there's of course the narrative and everything. But I just remember watching that series, and I just think that was just a great back and forth. Because the game, obviously, the year after, Spurs like destroyed them, like I think 4-1 or 4-2.
Yeah.
But that series I thought was a really good series, and I just think that game is probably that is the best. Yeah, that is the best NBA game I've seen. That's game 6 with the Ray Allen shot, because the amount of drama that was happening in that fourth quarter was insane. Because literally the Spurs, they won it. It was literally in their hands.
I think that's the best one I've ever seen. I like 2011 with Dirk, but I think 2016 is the best one. Just like the intensity, you could feel it, man. I think I enjoyed 2014 with the Spurs when they destroyed the Heat. That's probably the best Spurs team I've ever seen. Like they just destroyed everybody. But yeah, I think it's 2016 for sure.
What wins a championship more than not? A great offensive or defensive team, or a 1-2 superstar punch duo? It depends. Because again, look at the Pistons in 2004. Who the heck thought that they would have won? They just had like a really great team. Mavericks. Okay, yeah, Dirk Nowitzki was very good, but that was pretty much team against 2 superstars and 1 star, and then they beat them. So, but again, maybe you can. I'll give it to you afterwards. But I think that again, I want to compare football and basketball. I think because there are less players in basketball and it's a smaller area, 1 star player can have a profound effect. In football, wider area of play, 10 v10, 1 player can't have as much of an effect as in basketball. So if you've got 2 superstars, unless your coach is a complete moron, if you have 2 superstars, you should win. Now, obviously, like a very well coached team can do their best to nullify those two superstar players and try to negate the amount of damage they put upon them. You know, so okay, he's a shooter, double team him, or maybe put him on his weaker hand or something. Okay, he likes to go in the inside, double him up, and just try to make it as difficult. Or if okay, he's better at free throws, foul him, making sure the free throws, and just work with the percentages. So, but I still would lean more towards for superstars. That's a team with 1-2 superstars, coached well. I think more. Basically, it's the whole Steve Kerr thing. Is Steve Kerr a great coach, or does it just benefit having two of the greatest shooters of all time in his team?
Yeah, I think this question is dependent on what's in the league, because a two superstar punch duo would do nothing against the Golden State Warriors with Clay, Draymond, Steph Curry, and Durant. You could have two superstars every day of the week, and they got four, and they're gonna kill you. LeBron came with Kyrie, Kevin Love, and himself, and they lost 4-1 to Kevin Durant and them. 4-1. And then LeBron came with him and Kevin Love, and they got swept like twice. So I think it just depends on what's in the league. But in the league right now, we're gonna see this year, because last year the Raptors had one star, but they had about 10 good players. The Warriors had 4 stars and 4 good players. And we're gonna and the Raptors' depth ended up helping them last, even though the Warriors got injured. You know what I mean. With this new NBA, we're gonna see if this 1-2 of Paul George, Anthony Davis, or 1-2 with Jalen and Jason, or Kawhi and PG is gonna defeat the Miami Heat, who are a 1. Jimmy Butler's the star, but they have a team that's about 8 deep with good players. You know. Same thing with the Raptors. If the Raptors were to win, it would be about a great team over a 2 superstar duo.
For me, this is very simple. Even if it annoys me to say it, the Warriors with Durant, that team is unbeatable.
Yeah,
I would argue, people may not like me to say this, we know how great he is. I don't think any Jordan Bulls team beats that Warriors team.
The thing is, I would think the 72-9 team, or 72-10 or whatever team, the Bulls team, they're really good as well, because they were the first one to break the wins record in the NBA. So I guess that them two would kind of come together and fight. But I like the 2014 Spurs, man. But I don't think they're the greatest. I think the Warriors are the greatest.
Worst team, bro.
But I love the 2014 Spurs. Maybe you could say maybe the 1986 Celtics, when Bird, Mikhail Parrish all were in their prime, or one of the prime Laker teams as well. But it's the Warriors. As much as I don't want it to be, it's the Warriors.
No. Like
you can't even
team, because the thing about that is that Draymond Green, very good defensive player. You have the greatest shooter in history, and you have a guy who you would argue is top 3 greatest shooters in history.
Yeah,
and you have another dude who all around might be the best player in the world right now. So at fully fit, people would argue, no, Kevin Durant is the best player, in the world. So how do you see? Because my thing about this is that the Bulls is Jordan. We know Jordan is amazing and everything. Rodman defending. Scottie Pippen isn't as good as Klay Thompson at what he does. See, what Scottie Pippen is great at isn't as good as what Klay Thompson is great at.
Are you sure? Because I don't know about that.
Okay, you could go for it. Jamaican could go for it.
Yeah. What about the 95-96 Rockets team with Akeem?
Nah.
There's a narrative. What if Jordan came back? What if Jordan didn't retire? What about that final?
Hakeem would have beat him. Yeah, the Rockets.
Yeah,
What about that final?
I said, don't even bring in the Rockets into the conversation because look, shout out to my Nigerian brother Hakeem Olajuwon for doing his thing, but he benefited from Jordan playing baseball. Simple as that.
Mhm.
So, but my thing about this is that, so you see, so you said Pippen. I said
Pippen
what's
is better than
Pippen's
Klay Thompson.
best stats? He isn't better than what Klay Thompson is best at.
I don't know because Klay Thompson. I mean, Scottie Pippen might be the best perimeter defender that has ever lived.
Yeah.
And is Klay Thompson the best shooter that ever lived? No, his teammate is.
I would argue. Okay, I would argue he's top three. I'd argue Klay Thompson is top three. At the very least, he's top three best shooters ever.
And Scottie Pippen might be top three defensive players ever, especially like wing players.
No. Look, it would. Okay, let me ask you guys this. Okay, who wins in a game? That Warriors team or that 72-10 Bulls team?
Warriors, the math. They can score with them. No way in hell.
Which era? This era or that era?
Yeah, so that's the key one.
Yeah.
What if you do it in the 90s era with those rules?
The Warriors are still winning. The Warriors are still winning.
Ain't winning in the 90s.
Because even if it's the 90s, the 3-point line is still there in the 90s.
Yeah, but the rules are so different down the line come straight on 2000. Like some things guys could have gotten fouls on in the 90s. They're like they just show that he was touch blows foul.
Mm-hmm.
But why it's always the 90s that always comes up. The 90s versus 2000. In the 2000, the Warriors win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the 90s, it's a 50. In the 90s, it's a 50-50.
Nah, I think today, yesterday, tomorrow, the Warriors are beating every team that ever lived.
Yeah, you know.
Destroying them.
All right, so hold on. So, all right,
Destroying
what
them.
about? Are you telling me that the Warriors would beat Shaq and Kobe that 2003 team?
Now we having a conversation.
No, hey, are the Warriors beating that 2003 Lakers team
Now we having a conversation.
with Shaq, Karl Malone, Gary Payton? Are they beating that team?
I don't know because you can't stop Shaq.
Yeah, it's true. No, Shaq was a problem.
And they had Gary Payton. He wasn't over Eli yet, but Gary Payton put some respect on that nigga's name.
Mm-hmm.
No, but see, as much as they don't stopping Shaq, what do? Hack a Shaq.
Yeah,
Just
you can't shoot free throws.
Take
Who's
him,
stopping Kevin Durant?
okay, so you take him to the free throws, and 3 is still more than 2. And
Every
if
time. And Shaq's not getting 2.
starts going
Shaq's
crazy,
getting 1.
you know, is this Lakers team a good team, or is it just LeBron and AD carrying the rest?
LeBron and AD. This is not a good team. It's an average team.
Absolutely. It's not a very good team.
It's an average team. If then somebody said this on Twitter, if the Lakers would have played the Raptors tomorrow and you want to do like you know how they do in football, a combined 11 or whatever. If you wanted to do a combined and you wanted to list the best players on the roster, the first 2 players would be the Anthony Davis and LeBron.
Yeah.
Every other player would be a player on the Raptors.
Yeah, Spicy P, Kyle Lowry.
Every other player. Would be on the Raptors.
Every other. Yeah.
So
Alex Caruso, KCP. Yeah.
So basically, so this goes with your theory then, because you've just said that it's really just two guys. So which is that going in reference to the last question that where if you just have 1 or 2 great players, you can have the rest average players, and that's enough for you to win a championship. So you're saying that Lakers can conceivably win the entire thing, pretty much only having two guys on their team.
Because it's 5 guys on the floor, and yet you have 2 guys that are super monsters.
Yeah.
You are at a complete advantage.
All right, guess what? All right, guess I would tell you this LeBron and AD remind me of that Utah Jazz team with Karl Malone and John Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
It's so unfortunate that they went up against the Bulls those 2 straight years back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to discuss what if LeBron doesn't win this year.
You see, for me,
Because he ain't winning next year.
No. I think listen, look,
impossible.
they've always said that, I think the thing is that every superstar, again, I'm quoting Stephen A. Smith, so to tell me if what I'm saying is bogus. He said that every superstar who has come to the Lakers has won.
Yeah.
So every major player who's been in the Lakers has won. So if LeBron doesn't win, you'd be pretty much breaking a pattern of every star player winning for the Lakers.
Yeah.
And my thing about this is, if let's say he doesn't win it for the Lakers, does it harm his legacy? I don't think so. No, really, because the thing about it was that if you look at Magic, look at Kobe and Shaq, the Lakers, they had never won before they went to the Lakers. So Shaq never won with the Magic. Magic, obviously, he was like a Lakers career guy, and Kobe, Lakers career guy. So
yeah,
what thing that's with LeBron is that he's already basically LeBron is done. You're never going to reach the Jordan standard.
Never.
You're never going to reach. And basically, LeBron has already done his thing, which is the Cavs 3-1 down, 4-3. Although Kyrie was one that actually got the key shot. So him winning or not winning, hence why I said, see, the only narrative for me that can change the needle is Kawhi. LeBron winning with the Lakers, what does that change? Doesn't change anything. If Kawhi wins with the Clippers, okay, 3 teams, MVP on 3 different teams.
Yeah.
What are we saying here? So it's like that. See, because for me, because I was thinking about this last night. So let's say, he was it the MVP for the Cavs, or was that Kyrie?
No, he got the MVP.
Yeah.
And he also got the MVP for the Heat as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah.
So my thing about it is, okay, if he wins with the Lakers and he has MVP for 3 different teams, the reason why I don't rate it as highly is that was a cheat team, the Miami Heat. You literally built a super team.
Actually, it was 2 super teams.
The thing with the Cavs is, let's be real. Yes, you were the best player through the series. The critical point was that Kyrie shot.
Yeah, you weren't there. Yeah, yeah. And HS, there's a narrative that the Cavs wasn't a super team. That was a super team.
Did
people really see Kevin Knox stats when he was at Minnesota?
Did Kevin Love, Kyrie, and LeBron was a super team. It was three high level players.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You see, if we're gonna go there, go there, that's first of all, Kawhi with the Spurs. Kawhi was very young.
Yeah,
so was 21 or 22, and he won the MVP. To win the MVP at that young is huge.
Yeah.
Raptors, I'm sorry. That Raptors team, look, they're dominant and everything. They're nowhere near as good as that's Miami Heat's team that LeBron had, and they're nowhere near as good as the Cavs team that LeBron had. Yeah. So Kawhi's achievements for the Spurs and the Raptors, for me, is far greater than LeBron's achievements for the Cavs and the Heat.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
I guess so.
Yeah, and they have 2 legacy on the line. I wouldn't say legacy, but if Kawhi wins this NBA and the final MVP, he has a corner in history all by himself over there.
True.
And if to say Kawhi retires after the NBA final, he's top 20, top 15 of all time.
I wouldn't disagree.
Oh, no. I mean, hence why I just want to see what they do. So okay, let's this will just make this like the last question before we roll off. Can the Lakers win versus the Clippers if Kawhi clowns down on LeBron with only AD scoring over 30 points per game? For me, I think it's going to be a lot more complex than that. And I think that I don't know whether Kawhi can fully 100% lock down LeBron fully for the entire series, maybe for one game and so forth. But LeBron is a guy who, LeBron isn't Harden. So LeBron isn't a guy. LeBron is very happy to defer. Very happy to be I'll be the point guard now. I'll just dish the ball out. So now, what that does is that it will now put more pressure on Kuzma and the other dudes to now sort of make shots. So I don't think that it's going to completely negate. You see, Clippers have to do a lot more than just, let's clamp down on LeBron to beat the Lakers, I think. Because I think LeBron is a smart player that has many different ways in which to still harm you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm going to put in my Max Kellerman analytics. Yeah. When LeBron is not on the floor, that team doesn't make the playoff. And when I think there's a stat when LeBron's not on the floor, they're ranked bottom 3 of the worst offensive percentage. That simply means they're not very good without him on the floor. So in the Clippers-Lakers series over 7 games, LeBron is going to have to score 20, 35, 30 points a game, including AD, because the Clippers have, we'll say in football, a very wide, different type of squad players. Yeah, Montreal Harris, Lou Williams, Morris, all these guys come off the bench contributing in double digits and everything. So, but the thing is now, Lakers, Rondo is coming to life. Playoff Rondo, because he was shit in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
And Kuzma is still picking up a little bit. I'm not talking about Caruso. So it's going to have to be a team effort with the two teams, with the Lakers and for the Clippers. But sitting with Kawhi locking down LeBron, he alone cannot do it. Because LeBron, if anybody doesn't know, LeBron's a very smart, intelligent NBA player. One of the smartest of all times. So, and Paul George is going to have to have a big series. That's the next thing. But I feel this all goes down to Doc Rivers and his tactics.
Oh no. See, my thing about it is that, look, I mean, to be honest, so LT, so you're going with so you say you're going with the Lakers to win it all.
Yeah, I think that the Heat, though I like them the most in terms of like a complete team. I think the more this goes on, LeBron James is shining through. And I think just LeBron James having a dependable Anthony Davis is better than what Kawhi has to work with, because Kawhi is not getting a dependable Paul George. And whoever wins between the Lakers and the Clippers is getting the championship. So I think it's going to be the Lakers.
So Jamaican kid, who are you going with to win the whole thing?
Well, LeBron reads Twitter and listen to Stephen A. and Max Kevin every single morning, so he knows what will happen if he doesn't with it. All those narratives are going to come back. But I think the same thing with Kawhi. Kawhi is a mother bad. As Stephen A. will say, he's a bad man.
Mm-hmm.
The narrative from before in the offseason was that Kawhi was going to the Lakers. That was being rumored around. As you know, he was a free agent after that Raptors win. But Kawhi, the bad man he is, went right across LeBron, right across the liquor hall, and went to the Clippers. But
but give me a team. Just name a team. If you had to choose a team for who you think will win,
I think Clippers.
Okay, for me, difficult, man. Really difficult. But if I had to, it could change. But if I had to choose right now, you know what? Call me crazy. I'm gonna go with the Heat.
Wow.
I just know for me. I think that
now you're a believer. No,
see, the reason, and I think, look, I think that the bubble changes things.
Yeah.
And the best team in the bubble have been the Miami Heat. So there is no home and away thing, that's gone out the window. So the team who have performed best on this court, no fans, within this environment, have been the Miami Heat. Now, of course, we don't know what they will do against the matchup of thingy, but the whole thing of travel, one place to another place, fans, that's not a factor now. So some people think that this team just maybe understands and is performing at a high level in this environment. And for that reason, I feel that if they face either the Lakers, Clippers, or whoever, I just think that they'll be the underdogs. But I do, if ever there was to be a surprise team to win it, it would be this year in these circumstances.
For sure.
So it would make sense that, oh wow, the Miami Heat won the NBA championship when it was done in the bubble against all odds. You know, see, if this was, let's say, normal circumstances, like, I don't think them going to the Lakers, that avenue and everything with those fans, I think that would just sort of just succumb them. Without that, I'm rolling with the thing. So guys, look, man, we'll probably be back here. We'll be back here next week because I think I'm going to be busy in the weekend. But definitely, we're going to, because so game 7, very quickly, game 7. Who are you taking? I'm taking the Raptors.
I'm taking the Celtics.
Raptors.
Okay.
Raptors.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys